Hi, my name is Jay Goldmark. I'm the farm general manager here at Stonehouse Farm. We grow about 1,500 acres here of organic grains, and we manage pasture and forest land as well. Happy to be here. I've always been interested in soil health and also in preventing erosion and efficiency of farm operations, and having no-till strategies on the farm cuts down on cultivation. And when we have huge downpours here in the Hudson Valley in midsummer, it's really a stomach-turning event if you have a lot of soil exposed. So wherever we have no-till soybeans or no-till corn, you honestly just sleep better as a farmer. Right now we've experimented with no-till soybeans, which would follow peas. So we'd go corn and then peas come off in mid-July, which allows us plenty of time to get in a fall rye cover crop, which then we can roll and crimp the following spring and plant soybeans. So that's one place we've plugged in no-till soybeans. We've also experimented with no-till corn, which would follow small grains, because after small grains come off, we have time to plant our vetch in oats in late August, and then that's an opportunity for a roll and crimp vetch in mid-June, and then no-till planting right afterward. The weather is so variable here in the Hudson Valley. Sometimes it rains all late summer from July to August. And when we have, say, harvested small grains and we've just tried to fallow to get ready to plant fall rye in that mid-September time period, like September 15th kind of jumps to mind. Sometimes it's been hard to hit that target because the soil is just so wet and we can't get on it to prep the ground. So we've actually had some luck in recent years to hurry up and get in a warm season cover crop mix right after small grains. And then mid-September, even late September, then we want to get as much biomass on that cover crop as possible. We'll hit it with a high-speed disc once. It doesn't have to look real pretty. And then that allows us to drill the fall rye in with a no-till drill, trying to get it in still by the end of September. And so the fertility is the cover crop itself and minimal soil disturbance, and there seems to be a great crop response and good emergence for that rye. So that's one way. To remind myself to plant it in August, because it's hard to think ahead sometimes with that hairy vetch really does want to go in the ground earlier than any other fall cover crop. So it's to find a slot in the crop rotation following small grains when we've got a field that's available for that kind of early fall planting. And to plant it with oats. So oats and vetch seem to be good companion crops. And I think the seeding rate, I need to look up what we did, but I think we'd go the max rate on vetch, 30 pounds I think is it. And I can't remember if we did 50 pounds of oats or not, but it's really trying to prioritize the vetch establishment. Yeah, it's really just trying to time the rye termination correctly, so we're not too early and not too late. So it's really just kind of as we get into end of May, starting to really watch that rye closely to look for the right amount of pollen on the rye, so we hit it as close to anthesis as possible, and making sure that we get a good termination so that when we go and no-till plant the soybeans, we've done them both on 7-inch spacing with a no-till grain drill, and then I seem to have the best success with the corn planter on 30-inch spacing, just because the planting precision and population control is so much better with a planter, to really make sure we get the soybean population correct seems to be really important for no-till and canopy now. We typically, yeah, it's a good question because there's so much biomass in that rolled rye. After we roll, we kind of wait a couple days to let things settle down. So there's not such a thick green mat of mulch. That as that desiccates, we get better planter performance, and it's just more even, that we can get, you know, the right seed depth that we're looking for. Yeah, so we use a 1760 John Deere Max Emerge planter. I think it's a 2011, and we just remove everything from it except for the actual double disc opener. So there's no coulter, there's no row cleaner, there's pneumatic airbag downforce, and we put liquid down. We put fish fertilizer and micronutrients down at the same time. And I think the weight from the liquid helps too, us achieve depth. So I think less seems to be better with a planting in a no-till situation, just so we're not balling up on the residue and hanging up. Yeah, so we actually had a field this spring, about 70 acres of rye, that came out of winter in not great shape, and so we didn't really know whether to stay the course and roll it, and we ended up actually taking it to just about anthesis, but then we hayed it all. So we removed all the biomass, and we had a good market for organic Brighton rice straw, which ended up being a good decision because we actually had a pretty dry spring. And it would have been tough seeding conditions to roll the rye and plant the soybeans into that dry soil. So I think that's one example of, you always could, you know, harvest a crop you didn't plan to harvest if you didn't have faith that there was enough moisture for the soybeans. So supplemental would be like a weed zapper. Or like an inter-row mower, yeah.
Those sort of things.
I would try any of those things if I had the tools. I think that I'm really curious about the weed zapper, just because it's, you know, zero soil disturbance. I'm really excited about the on our cultivated soybeans and corn. I really like the precision that a camera guided cultivator offers. But yeah, I would love to have a tool of everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in any given year, we typically have around 300 acres of cultivated corn. We try to have about 200 acres of cultivated soybeans. And by the time, that's just for us and our small crew, and we have one cultivator, it's really hard to cover 500 acres effectively in a timely way, especially with different weather patterns. So it's really nice to, instead of having all of our row crops be cultivated crops, always have like 100 acres in a no-till rotation, so that we're just at the right scale of cultivation, because it's just, you're just like breathless at the end of a 500 acre schedule of cultivating. That if we reduce that by even 100, say it's only 400, we still have the same amount of acres in production, which is great for our own need to supply our organic mill, but we just have less to cultivate, so everyone is happier. I think it's a great practice, and it can really exercise the creative part of your brain. And help a farmer even practice surrender more than we normally do. But I think it has really huge rewards because it's something new. And it's just kind of a wonder. You're like, wow, I didn't think that would work. And it's inspiring. Well, establishing a good cover crop is such a challenge. I think that is number one on the success of all these experiments. Is really, if you don't start out with a good cover crop, then your chances of success just kind of drop. Anytime we've had like good seed bed preparation and have the right kind of seed and the right blend and the right seeding rate, we've had decent luck with growing a good no-till crop, like whether that's soybeans into rolled or rustic rye, or corn into rolled vetch. If the cover crop's there, normally have a good cash crop. There's also been some total failures too, where the rye winter killed, or suffered from a lot of freeze, thaw, and ponding in the spring. And where that's the case, you've got no weed suppression, but you kind of have to plant the soybeans there anyway because you've dedicated the whole field. So I think it's just highly variable year to year. I think no-till soybeans really shine where you have surplus amounts of moisture, where you can raise a really big biomass rye crop and there's still like plenty of moisture for you to no-till plant beans and for them to jump right out of the ground. I mean, that's an amazing luxury when you've got that much moisture and rainfall available. So I think that's one. I mean, I forgot to mention, but a huge struggle and challenge with no-till corn is just the planting date of needing to wait till you can terminate the vetch in mid-June, mid to late June. Sets it back away.